the Bullet had done some media this week, and she brought up something that was interesting, and it's interesting because I don't even know what in the hell it means. So here's what the Bullet said. She said, one of the things that I really want in my journey, her word, is a lot of competitions. I want to stay busy and I want to fight more often. So I put it in my new contract that I could do other events, not just marquee pay-per-views. Now, I love what this sounds like. I love everything that I'm hearing. I love that competitor's mindset. I just don't know what it is she said. I don't fully know what it is she said, because generally a boilerplate contract would require 3 fights a year. And every now and then you'll get that really lucky or special person like a Cowboy Cerrone type that's going to get 4 or 5, but everybody else is kind of regulated to the 3. Real standard. You're champion, you're a marquee fighter, or you're somebody a little newer, not quite a veteran. You get 3 fights. Just the way it works. So I don't fully know what it means that she would be able to fight on cards that were not pay-per-view. 3 is 3. Unless I'm missing something, and I think that I am. I am also willing to concede that I think somewhere I am missing something, but I do appreciate this mindset. And the one big problem you've got, if you're going to fight the Bullet, and I think Katlyn's going to have this problem, and I think Jessica I had this problem, and I think you could go right on down the list, which is she's very hard to scout. She's very hard to sit down, go watch 3, 4, 5 of her fights with your coach, get out your pen and notepad, and start writing down tendencies. Start writing down things that you're recognizing and things that you think within your skill set you can exploit. She's very tough to do that for because she evolves so rapidly. She really does. To watch her gains from one fight to the next, it's almost like you're watching a different athlete. And she's been credited for the longest time for her stand-up abilities. And those are well documented, but I do think that we learned something at the very end of the first round in her contest with Jessica I when she goes and puts that armbar on. But not just getting a 2-on-1 and starting to manipulate Jessica I's arm. It was the technique that she used. It was the hip positioning that she used. It was ultimately stepping over the head. Now, she didn't get the submission. Jessica I did her job back just as well, defensively. But the Bullet showed an offensive prowess that we didn't know she had. Go to the corner, get some water, come out a minute later. Part of the next round, she lands that sequence, ultimately with a head kick, gets the knockout. Which was things that we've seen from her before. But we also see this added tool, which is something that's very intimidating. When all of a sudden, the story of your career, the story of your last 3 fights, the story of your last 12 months as an athlete is that of somebody who evolves very, very fast, that's a problem for your opponent. I mean, that's a very intimidating thing. Most athletes just do not get that much better that quickly. They learned something when they were 9 and 10 and 12 years old. They mastered it. They took it to the college ranks or the pros in this situation. 20, 25, 27 years old, you're now executing the techniques that you learned as an adolescent or as a teen. You're not in the ring scoring with techniques that you learned in the last month. Broad stroke here. But for the most part, and across the board, all sports, it's that way. Go ask LeBron how many things he just picked up in summer camp last summer that he's putting to work on the court now, as opposed to, hey, LeBron, your first and your second coach ever, your junior high coach. Are you using more techniques that you learned way back at that time in life? It's just a fair point by me, and it is something that's very intimidating by the Bullet. Look, the Bullet is so good. Okay, the Bullet is so good. There was a rumor going around. Of course, it's complete hogwash, by the way. I'm not perpetuating this rumor. This is meant for us to laugh at and also as a compliment to the Bullet. But the Bullet was so unexplainably good. And it turned out she speaks either 6 or 7 languages. And it turns out sometimes you see her and it almost is like you're looking at somebody else. Like she'll dye her hair or she'll lighten her hair. And you go, wait, was that the Bullet? And then it turns out that she's also a master marksman. There was a rumor started on the underground that many people did believe that she is secretly a foreign asset. There would be no other explanation of why she would be a master of disguise, need to know 6 different languages, and be a master of hand-to-hand and armed combat. Now, of course, it's ridiculous, but this is the level that you're speaking of skills, okay? This is where you're at. You're with somebody who is doing such a good job at their profession and who is gaining and learning so rapidly that you can almost not identify it with words. So we turn to a foreign asset.